Hey everybody, it's Rob Nazarian with Talk Android. We got the HTC One M8 here, and we've been doing a bunch of guides, and this next guide is going to be on some of the dual camera effects. As you know, the M8 has two lenses, an ultra pixel 4 megapixel lens and a 2 megapixel for depth. And there are some variety of effects you can do when you use the dual camera. Now I want to stress something here before I get into it. If you want to do any of these effects that I'm going to show you today, you must be in the regular camera mode. It is certainly not going to work in video, and it's not going to work in Zoe at all. I know Zoe is very popular, but for example, even if you're in Zoe and you just go ahead and say I'm taking one picture, by just hitting it quickly, it still will not work. You have to be in this regular camera mode. Dual capture isn't going to work either. And you just saw there my finger was blocking the lens a little bit, and I tend to do that a lot. I always have my middle finger here by mistake. If you do that and you forget to remove it, that message that comes up that it's being blocked will eventually go away. And now I'm trying to get it back and I can't, but it will also not work. So when you go into your photos after, it'll say can't be done with the lens being blocked. So let's go into the gallery and look at some of the things that you can do here. Whoops, we're going to the gallery. So gallery. Alright, now here's a photo here. And you can see there's a background. The first thing I'm going to show you is what they call U-focus, which is a bokeh or bokeh, or whatever you want to call it. I know there's a variety of ways of calling that, but that's really what the effect is. They're calling it U-focus here. And I have my son here, and there's a house and trees and stuff in the background. So when you load up the photo, all you do is just tap on it, and you'll see the different options here for sharing and deleting and stuff. You go to Edit. Whoops, didn't go fast enough. Go to Edit. And right away the effects comes up. If this doesn't come up right away, these options, you know you're in trouble, that it's not the proper photo. Because I think tools will come up instead for cropping, which you can do on any photo. And then when you go to effects, these will be kind of like grayed out. So we're going to go to U-focus, and right away it takes the background and blurs it just like that. Now in this particular situation you really wouldn't want to do it, but depending on the photo, now you can actually tap on the foreground and change, tap on the background and change the focus, and it's now focusing on the background and not my son. And of course I can tap him and bring him back. There's usually a third option as well that kind of changes things a little bit. That's a little bit different, where it's partially. So they're like kind of like three layers they're working with this. It's 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him back, and then you can go ahead and hit save. Now it's going to save the image but not change the original. So if I go back here to all the photos, there's an extra photo here, and I think that's going to be this one here, and there it is, and there's the original. So it doesn't, any of these saves that you do will not change your original. It still will be intact. It's going to be an extra photo, so you don't have to worry about that. Of course you can always hit cancel. Now let's go into edit again, and let's look at Foregrounder. Foregrounder is pretty cool effect, and there's 4 different effects that they have here. And this one kind of looks like a bunch of pencil drawings, and what you can do is choose the different effects, and you got to watch out too when you tap. If you want to bring up the thing again, if these go away, if you tap it, then it changes it, and you can also change it there. But so I'm going to bring him back, and I go to zoom blur, and then there's cartoon and colorize. The first one was called sketch. And of course you can save any of these, and like I said, you can switch it, not that you would want to, the background and foreground, but you want to make sure you have it right, and then go ahead and save it. If you don't want this, you just hit the back key. Now another thing you can do is seasons, which lets you throw up different things, and it gives you like a little video that you can save. It's not a GIF, it's actually a video. And then you have you can do dandelions, and you can do maple leaf and snow. It's kind of similar to Google's Auto Awesome Snow. So I'll go ahead and again, of course, you can hit save, and then I'll hit the back key there. The next one here is Dimension Plus, which really to me is really useless, and you'll see these in your video highlights. You can kind of just move it around and see the dimension. This, I have to be honest with you, is pretty worthless, but it is there. Another thing you can do is stickers. And you can grab different things like glasses or whatever and add them to the photo. So let's just say a hat. Now you can resize it depending on the size of the picture, and you can also tilt it. So there's a little tilt, and you just put that, throw that on. I can hit done, and then go in and add something else, or I can just go ahead and hit cancel. Actually, I think I can only do one item at a time, so that's it. And then you hit save. And then the last one I want to show you is copy and paste. Now, copy and paste, I'm actually going to go to a different photo to start with. You have to go with the photo that you want to start with, and we'll just choose this one here. Whoops. We'll choose this one here. Alright, this is just me standing in the same spot. Very cool photo, right? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and tap on this, and I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to go to copy and paste. Now this is where I will now select the photo that I want to copy. I'm going to copy a person out of another photo and bring it into this photo. So now I'm going to choose this one here. It's my son again. And right away in the picture, now if you're zoomed too far out, it's not going to work. It's not going to recognize that there's a person to cut out. But you basically, if there's more people, you'll have different boxes over each person. Tap on the one you want to crop. So you go ahead and tap on them, and you're going to see right away it's going to crop him out. Now it didn't get everything, and there is some fine tuning that you can do here. I'll show you a little bit better in another photo. But let's just go with it for now, and I'll show you what you can do to kind of fine-tune it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done, and now he's now in this photo, and I can move him around. I can move him wherever I want. Now, depending on if he's on the background or foreground in the photo, also he can be adjusted, and the same thing as me. So you have this here, but right now for this particular one, it's only going to allow it for me. I'm already in the foreground, so it really doesn't do any good. So I'm going to tap on myself. It's not going to really change anything. I can also, by doing that, change my crop if I want, but I don't know why I would. So I can move him around. I can also make it, depending on if it's a photo taken at a different zoom or whatever, you can also make him bigger or smaller. I can make him a midget if I want. I can make him also appear further away by doing that, even though he's not really. Incidentally, I just brought up the word zoom. The other thing that will not work also with all these effects is if you're even in the regular camera mode and you zoomed for whatever reason, it's not going to work either. So that's another thing I just wanted to point out. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. So these are just regular straight pictures that these things will work with. So you can go ahead and hit done and then save, but we're going to cancel that for now. And I just want to show you the same thing here. I'll go to copy and paste, and I'll show you another type of image where you can kind of fine-tune things. I'm going to go down here. This is only going to show images that it's not going to show all your videos when you do this, because it knows only the dual camera shots, so that makes things a little easier. Okay, so now I have my son on a bike on the same driveway but in a different spot, and I'm going to go ahead and tap on him. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to crop him, and he's got part of a bike on him and part of no bike, which would look kind of weird. So what you can do is there's pluses and minuses here, and this is actually not so easy to do. In theory, it's great, but it's hard to do with your finger. You can actually crop out or make a bigger crop section by hitting the plus, using the plus. So I'm going to highlight this whole area. You can see I'm just grabbing, more of the area here. The problem lies, though, is it's tough to make it fine-tuned because you've got part of the driveway, and depending on what type of photo you're looking to put together, makes it very tough to make it precise. There's also a spot here, I'm getting grass here. I can kind of go in there and whoops, that's I actually want to get rid of. So now I'm going to show you the minus. So now minus is actually getting rid of some spots to fine tune it. You can see I'm getting rid of some stuff, but it's very difficult to get it very close. Here is in between. Whoops, I didn't do it so well there. But you get the idea. If you can get it right, and of course I'm doing this under a camera, which doesn't make it easy, but with your finger, this is where an S Pen would come in handy. So if you do a little too much, you can go back, you know, add a little bit more. And once you're done, you hit done. And this would kind of work because it is the same driveway but a different spot. I can bring them in here and, you know, it's not as noticeable. And so there you are, you're bringing them into the photo. So that's copy and paste. There's also some touch-up stuff here that you can do, enhancing the eyes and different things like that. But I'll let you play with that stuff. That's all stuff that was, a lot of stuff was involved already with the older versions of Sense. But this is the dual camera stuff that's brand spanking new. All these items are kind of cool. I think in some ways it is gimmicky. The U-Focus is cool, and the Foregrounder, but again, it's got to be something you got to be thinking about. If you use Zoe's a lot, you got to know you're going to do it in the particular picture, because after the fact you're just not going to be able to do it. But the good news is if you do plan for it and use that particular setting, the proper setting without zoom, you know, you can fool around with it later after the fact. But again, only those photos that are in the normal camera setup. So that is it. That is the dual camera effects. I hope this helps you with some better photos, and that's the HTC One M8. And look for some more stuff. We're going to do some slow-mo video editing and some other videos as well. So this is Rob Nazarian from Talk Android. Thanks for watching.